Hey guys, Joe here, and I just made a 20+ minute video on the book Never Split the Difference by Voss, and I'm trying to just make a quicker version for the people who don't feel like spending 21 minutes. So my opinion on the book, long story short, get it. I never read it for two reasons or listened to it for two reasons. Number one is because of the title, and that's because of the second thing, which is I'm not trying to be in sales, right? So I don't care about negotiating, that kind of thing. And that was the tagline under the book, was like, negotiate as if your life is dependent on it, or, you know, something to that effect. And like, I don't care about that, right? Anyway, so the three, I guess, key takeaways, right? Number one, this isn't just a negotiation book. This is a communication book, how to talk to your people within business, your family, your spouses, your kids, like everything, right? It's a way of communicating with them to get them to open up, to have those difficult conversations that, you know, typically make people shut down or get super defensive, like, you know, I don't know, talking about your wife's weight, right? That's something you could never do. With this, you can. Like, you can. You know, issues like my son's going through stuff at school right now. And what ends up happening is, you know, without using some of this stuff in the book, like, I don't get to the real reason of, like, what's actually going on. Because, like, I don't know about you, but, like, I never talked to my parents. And, like, now it's like we have a different dynamic than... you know, and like, he wants to talk to me, but he's also guarded because of like stuff that he's heard in the past, or like past you know, emotions and all this other kind of stuff. Or the way that I used to talk to him, it's like, well, why do you even feel like this? Like, you have, like, you don't have bills, you don't have to work, like, you just gotta go to school, like, what the hell's your problem, right? Don't say it exactly like that to a 10-year-old, but, you know, more or less. And like, what happens because of those types of conversations is that they basically shut down and they won't tell you, right? So what are the three things that you can take away from Never Split the Difference? Number one is mirroring, okay? So this is basically where you're going to repeat the last, you know, few words that they said. So like, Dad, I had a really bad day at school, right? You had a really bad day, right? And you want to do an upward inflection, basically that last syllable, you want to go upward as if like it's a question. And you don't want to attack. It's like, you had a really bad day at school, right? You don't want to do that. Like, it's he says the like late night DJ voice, but it's basically just being a calm, comforting voice, right? Concerned, right? So you do that, and then they're going to talk about it, right? And he says, you know, whatever else. And then the next thing you do is label the emotion. So my son is very like obsessive. So you start thinking about something and go on and on and on and on. And I'm about to have a conversation with my employee about the same thing. Or not about the same thing, but like, he's got that obsessive personality. What you're going to do is, if someone's upset or they're super happy or whatever it may be, like you have an irate customer, it's like, I'm sorry, it seems like, you know, and it's not like it seems like, it sounds like, it looks like, right? Those are the three things that you want to kind of say with this. It seems like you're really upset. And you would think the natural inclination is for them to be like, yeah, I'm fucking upset. Like, of course I'm upset, or don't tell me to be upset, right? But what it does is, like, typically those issues, whatever they are, once you label them, they basically disarm them. And what I mean by that is it makes it not as bad, okay? And so anyway, you would say that, and then they would kind of go on. It's like, yeah, I'm really upset, like this happened. And it's like, you know, no one, I didn't have anyone to play with at recess. Like, you didn't have anyone to play with at recess, right? And then they start talking more and more. Like, it's not like, well, why did you feel that? Why in this? Because, like, there's that natural inclination. Again, like, when you are asking these types of questions, like, why do you feel that way, right? Or whatever. There's this natural push. There's this natural pushback, right? So by asking, you know, a what or how question, I'm going into something else. But when you ask these questions, a what or how, it's not a why, it's not a you. We're not talking, I think you are, you know, it seems to me you're pretty upset, right? Because then you're putting that analysis on yourself. No, when you say it seems like, it looks like, it sounds like you're upset, right? It's just labeling the emotion, and like it's going to take them from a 10 level down to like a 5, right? So we have the mirroring, we have the you want to ask these types of questions. Oh, the last thing is that you want to ask no-oriented questions, right? So this is from a business side standpoint, right? So like we give prices over the phone. After that, the next step is to book a consultation. But typically what people want to do is like, I want to talk to my wife or spouse or whatever else. And it's like, no problem, I understand. Like, how about, like, if you're going to talk to her Tuesday, how about I call you Wednesday at noon? How's that sound? Yeah, it sounds good, right? Well, there's three types of yeses. There's confirmation, there's commitment, and counterfeit, right? So for this, well, 70% of the time they're giving us counterfeit yeses because we're like, you know, the people call back at Wednesday at noon when they said they were going to call. No one ever answers the phone because they, like, you're just saying, yeah, whatever to get them off the phone, or they're saying, yeah, whatever to get them off the phone, right? And you do the same thing. So instead, or it's like, hey, is now a good time to talk, right? Your natural inclination, unless you want to be an asshole, is like, no, now it's not. Like, you'll say, yeah, it's a good time to talk. Like, you're not going to say, no, it's not a good time to talk, right? Instead, you should ask no-oriented questions. Like, is now a bad time to talk, right? Because people are naturally going to say no immediately, right? So if they start saying no, then they got to think in their head, well, no, it's not a bad time to talk, right? So now they have to kind of think, like, is now a bad time to talk, right? Do I have anything going on, right? That kind of thing. Or it could be like, for these consultations that we do charge $75 to go out. So we give them the price and they're like, hey, I need to talk to my spouse. Yeah, that's completely understandable. And the next step is to, you know, book the consultation fee. It is $75, but, you know, it rolls into the price of the project. And if your wife decides that she doesn't want to do it, just call us and we'll cancel it. How does that sound? Their natural inclinations say no. One, because you said too much damn shit, but or I said too much shit. But typically the answer is no, right? So instead, a better way to say that kind of question is like, would it be completely ridiculous to book the consultation today? So that way you're on, you know, the path, whatever. Well, their natural inclination is to say no, but so what they're going to do in their head is like, it's not absolutely ridiculous, right? So then they kind of like, you'll see like the wheel spinning in their head, and then you'll get the answer that you're looking for. Like, no, like, we don't want to do that. They're not going to say, yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, nah, I don't think we're going to do it. I really want to talk to my wife. Or, oh yeah, you know what, we can do that, blah, 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 right? At least you're going to get the answer that you're looking, like, you want a real answer. Like, we don't want to say, oh, you want to call these people, you know, or we're going to call you, and they say, yeah, and then they call, and then they don't fucking answer the phone, right? Because we have like when you start advertising more and more, you got a shit ton of people in your pipeline. And like, if there's 100 people in your pipeline, but 70% of them are a fucking waste of time, like, I don't want to deal with the 70%. I want to deal with the 30. So you got to start asking questions to get to the truthful answer. Anyway, so it's only 8 minutes. If you want to watch the other video, I go into it more and more. I think it's definitely worth listening to, but if you don't want to, I understand as well. Please consider liking and subscribing to this channel. It helps more people like you see these types of videos. They are super helpful, I think. And if you don't think they're so super helpful, let me know what you think. Like, what would you rather me said? It's too short, too long, whatever. Have a great day, and check out localprohelpers.com. What I'm doing is I'm taking these posts, and then I basically take this video, I post it into a blog post, and then I break it down even further. So you can kind of skim through it if you want to do that, and then there'll be links to other helpful articles to help you out as well. So anyway, talk to you soon. I got some yoga, and have a great day. See ya.